from On's garden, and I'm going to take you into the kitchen garden just for a minute. Now you'll have to excuse all of the mess because it is not sorted out here at the moment. So I've got, let me just spin round, I've got the kettle actually unplugged, which for me is a rarity, but that's all shoved to the side over here because we've got some stuff to do. Moving on, so we go around the kitchen, past the other plants, past all this mess here, because that there is my time-lapse camera. Now what I'm trying to do, or what I have been trying to do, probably for a couple of months now, which sounds like a long time, is trying to get a picture of this leaf here growing out of the plant of my billiete. Now it's sat like this for absolutely ages. There's been several weeks basically where it's not released itself from that stem there, and I'm so tempted just to get my little finger in there and just let it go, but that's not what I'm doing. No, I am filming, so the camera stand is taken up, so we might have some problems today if I can't release that. And we'll get a nice little picture of all the leaves coming out of that. Like I say though, it's been absolutely ages. In the time that that's taken for that to release its leaf, we've had a couple of leaves out of my philodendron over here. So what's the plan, Stan? Well, the plan basically is to look at my Philodendron Pink Princess. So here it is, and it's not looking the best, although it's in the sunshine. On a rare occasion we've got some sunshine coming through the window. So it's here, shining on the plant, and it's a beautiful plant, but it needs some help. And I don't think my little 2 pieces of bamboo are going to cut it. In fact, that's doing nothing really. So let's get a look at that. I'm going to take this out, repot it. I'm not going to pot it in anything bigger because I don't think it needs it, unless when we take the roots out it's actually packed full, which I doubt it. But what we're planning is probably is to put it in something similar like this, like an orchid pot, so I can see the roots, and drop it in the same place, in the same pot that sat there. Make it nice and cosy with some chunky bark mix, and we're going to make a moss pole up for that one. Doesn't have to be too big, although it's got potential, so I don't know yet. So let's grab that and have a look. Okay, so first thing we've got to do is basically cover up the work surface, because this is going to get messy. Now let's go and get the plant. Oops. First thing first, let's get rid of the tie wraps. One in there. There we go. Released. Take the bamboo canes out carefully. It's about time this had a good potting mix as well, I think. There we go. It's of course been overwatered, as most of my plants have, so it's looking a bit, little bit black on the edges, a bit actually dry in the middle of filling that. So we're going to have a good look at the roots to see what they're doing. The bread knife, the gardener's favourite tool. Let's get that in there. There she goes. actually quite moist in places, dry in others, I think. And that's just like the little pot it came in is still there, and that's like poking out the top of the soil, so that's not a good sign. There's no real root rot as such. They're all quite healthy roots. Just feels a bit dry in places. And also it's a bit solid. So you can see, it looks like. So, while my moss is actually rehydrating and growing in size, what I need to do is to make some nice little compost mix just to go in this orchid pot that's going to go in there. So orchid pot in, moss pole, and then chunky philodendron mix. Orchid bark, repotting mix and perlite. Well, there's not much perlite in there and it seems to be at the bottom, so we'll have to add some vermiculite to this. A little bit of soil, a bit of lacquer in it, and a bit of vermiculite already in there. Oh, this is good stuff, it smells good. Delicious. Got the smell of the moss, got the smell of the bark. It's starting to smell like a forest. Give that a good mix in there, you see what that looks like. That. I also want to use some of the original soil because that soil is pretty good. I think it's got mycorrhizal fungi in it as well, which is obviously helping. That's nice and chunky in there, that. A bit more in there, I think. You get plenty of aeration, plenty of drainage. Vermiculite. Lumps of bark in there. Okay. So this moss, put it into there. Actually want a few bark chippings in here as well. So let's get a handful of these ones. That'll mix in there as we push it up. There we go. Looking good. Okay, so we're going from Chinese moss, which is very green and verdant, and survived pretty well, to be honest, with some bark chips in the middle. And I need a little bit more for the end, so I'm going to break into my new bag of Welsh moss. And this big old chunky bag here, I think I bought too much, to be honest. There should be plenty there to go in the moss pole. And it's all packed in, so I think there's about 5 kilos of moss here. God knows what I'm going to do with it all. I've got a few more plants that I want to actually make some more moss poles for, but I haven't got enough moss poles to make them, to be honest. Yeah, not sure what to do with that. Anyhow, let's have a look at this stuff. Oh, it's a bit longer. Look at that. compared to the Chinese moss. You've got long strands of moss there. Chinese moss, they're a lot finer strands. They're the two differences. Anyhow, let's get some more in there. Moss pole done. Right, that's a good start. Followed by this little beauty, look at this. This plant is going to be well happy on this moss pole. There's the back. So on the back of the philodendron you can see these little aerial roots coming out there, look. Those ones want to be going into the moss pole, so we're going to angle it so there at the back. Going there like that. There we go. How good does that look? Let's take you in for a closer look at this chunky mix in there. You can't see it very well, but there's plenty of room for aeration in there. You can see the bark chippings around if you get close. See the bark chip in there, look. So I think it's going to be most happy in that mix. And it's even looking better on its moss pole. Bit of a gap there, not sure why I missed that bit, but not a lot I can do about that now. But yeah, let's get it in its pot, see what it looks like. Isn't that going to be a much happier plant growing up that moss pole? It's got a beautiful pot. It's got a good mix, chunky mix for philodendrons. Got some nice moss to keep it moist at the top. And I think that's going to be most happy in there. So that's number one. We've got a couple more little plants that I need to show you, and we're just going to pop those up quickly. They're little tiny ones though, so they shouldn't take long. We've got ourselves over here a tiny little philodendron ring of fire, and that's a 6 centimetre pot there. So it looks really tiny at the minute, but we need to get that out of that little tiny pot, just so it can have a bit of room to grow into a chunky aroid mix as well. So we need to do that one. I've also got one of my wish list plants. It's a Monstera Thai Constellation, but it's absolutely tiny. 6 centimetre pot again. But that's the cheapest way you can buy these really at the minute. So hopefully that's going to grow big and strong. And thirdly and finally, another wish list plant. I've got a Monstera Obliqua. Look at this now. This deserves its own space. Hang on, where can I put it? Let's go around here. Let's just have a look at it over here, because you need to see it without anything in the background, really. This is the Monstera Obliqua. Look at those leaves. Yum, yum, yum. And it arrived in the freezing cold with a heat pack in the bag. So I'm hoping it's going to adjust okay. Help it on its way. We need to get it out of this and again into a little orchid pot so we can see the roots grow. Philodendron ring of fire. Look at that tiny 6 centimetre pot nut. Good thing is, it's got a lot of healthy roots in there. So hopefully it should grow pretty well. Got just enough room in the top there, a bit more. Like that, and we'll surround it with some more of this chunky mix. That's that one done. Monstera Thai Constellation. Scissors. And all that stuff. This is what it looks like. We'll need a little bit more light than the normal Monstera Deliciosa because it's got obviously these light patches which haven't got chlorophyll in. We'll release that from the pot. Oh, actually, look, roots are already coming out here, so that's ready to be potted up. I just want to keep that root if I can. Try and squeeze them out. Shaky, shaky. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Yeah, definitely happy with that. Look at these bright white roots. That's what you want to see. It obviously likes what it's in. So we'll put it in. Well, we haven't got the same stuff, but we'll put it in something that it should like also. So I need another pot. Boom. Number 2. Chunky mix going in. There we go. Chunky mix. Yeah, just like a forest floor. Number 2 done. Boom. And now for the third and final. Get it out. To go on. There we go. Let's see what this one's like. Well, I can see a bit of roots, so that's always a good sign. See a bit of root there. Sticking out the bottom. Let's rip it out. Oh yes. Nice, good, solid roots. Just checking, I think that's a dead leaf. I don't think it's a bug. So we're good still. Right. Monstera Thai Constellation. Boom. Look at those leaves. Grow big and strong, my beauty. We've got Obliqua. Such a pretty plant. Can't believe how much I'm enjoying these leaves. This one will be good when it gets bigger. This one is good right now. With the moss, the ring of fire. All in, nice mix. Moss to keep it cool and to keep the moisture in. And all we need to do is just drop a bit of water in there, but through the magic of video, I'm going to clean up the mess. I need to get the kettle on because I'm gasping for a cup of tea. So I'm going to get a cup of tea and then final view, and then we'll be done. Oh, delicious. We've got the Thai Constellation Monstera. Beautiful. Philodendron, Ring of Fire. And finally, the Monstera Obliqua, Peru. Beautiful. And just as an extra bonus, I actually found time to do my verrucosum. So I've actually potted up the verrucosum and done the rather long moss pole. So hopefully that's got enough room to grow up there and make lots of big leaves. So thanks for joining. Another day in On's garden. So on that note, we're going to leave it until the next time.